I played the Prime Minister's response a bit earlier in the show. He was reluctant to criticise this. In his second answer, he eventually called it, I think he didn't even say inappropriate, I think he said not appropriate. Is this response good enough, Michaelia?
Well, I almost don't have an answer to you because it is so appalling what the Prime Minister didn't do. So let me tell you what's not appropriate, Sharri. Not appropriate is jumping the queue at Woolies. Not appropriate is not wearing shoes into a restaurant after you've been to the beach. This is completely, totally and utterly unacceptable behaviour, mourning the death of the person who led a listed terrorist organisation in Australia. But on top of that, if they were in any way advocating for this particular organisation, it is potentially a criminal offence in Australia. So Mr Albanese has yet again shown the Australian people he does not have the backbone, the spine or the guts to look them in the eye and say what has occurred at these organisations is it's not just unacceptable, it is completely un-Australian, and we need to put a stop to it, Sharri. Again, fundamental difference. Albanese prepared to trash and turn his back on Australian values. Angus Taylor, first and foremost, protect and stand up for Australian values.
The ISIS cohort, and I think we should call them the ISIS cohort, not the ISIS brides.
Yep.
They were the focus again of Question Time today. Things got pretty heated. Have a look.
Can the PM confirm that none of his ministers, nor any member of staff, made representations to any relevant departments or agencies to support or expedite the issuing of Australian passports to ISIS sympathisers in Syria?
They're Australian citizens. They now have an entitlement, a right to come back to our country. There's no silver bullet. Not my words, the words of that soft person, Peter Dutton. The hypocrisy on this is extraordinary, given that 40 people came home on their watch, including not partners or relatives, including ISIS fighters.
So two things. Firstly, how is the response from previous coalition governments different to the Albanese government? And also, have you actually got an answer on whether anyone in the Albanese government assisted with giving passports to this group?
No, we haven't. The government is misleading. It is lying to the Australian people every step of the way in relation to the assistance that it is giving to the ISIS brides. I mean, what more proof could you need? There is Dr Jamal Rifi. He proudly wears the T-shirt, Friends of Tony Burke, the relevant minister. He's there at Tony's election party celebrating his win. He is currently on the ground working out how to get the ISIS cohort back to Australia. These are women who turned their back on our great country. They turned their back on everything we stand for. They forfeited, quite frankly, the right to come back to this country when they want to. But this government throws its hands up and uses every bit of weasel words in the book to make excuses. Again, Angus Taylor has made it very, very clear.
But just to go to that point,
government will use every lever.
We're completely out of time, but just to respond to what the Prime Minister said there, that, you know, Peter Dutton, as Home Affairs Minister, didn't act any differently.
Oh, please, come on. And that's the same Prime Minister who, during the election campaign, was saying that Peter Dutton was so tough he would actually scare people. So please, don't believe a word this Prime Minister is saying.
So you're saying
judge
it's not
them on
true.
their record. We brought back orphans. We were upfront with the Australian people and we repatriated them. This is a fundamentally different situation. This is a government that is not lifting a finger to stop these brides coming back. We have made it very, very clear. We will use every single lever available to us to shut the door on them It's a very simple principle. You either stand for that principle or you don't, and Mr Albanese doesn't.
All right, and he hasn't been transparent about it, that's for sure. All right, Michaelia Cash, appreciate your time. Thank you.